Pets Add Life, your guide to the latest in pet trends, products, and the joy of the human-animal bond, with Kristen Levine and Chris Bonifati, powered by the American Pet Products Association and Dog TV.
The world's a little loud right now. So why not pause and relax? Download the Dog TV app and stream soothing, dog-friendly content anytime. No sign-ups, no credit card, no stress. Just you, your pup, and a little peace and quiet. Pause and relax, because your dog deserves a chill day too. Available now, free, through the end of 2025.
Hello and welcome to an episode of Pets Add Life. This is AI Chris, introducing his partner, AI Kristen Levine. Just kidding, it's us in the flesh.
It is. I've seen and heard AI Kristen Levine, and it's scary.
Yeah, it's jarring. You'll know that AI Chris is AI Chris because he's not funny. Only flesh suit Chris can crack jokes like this. Get it out on a t-shirt. Let's get dog TV t-shirts that say only flesh suit Chris can crack jokes like this. It's like a tongue twister too. It's great. Full of ideas. Merch store coming to a merch store near you. Kristen, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Nothing to complain about. Got Tulip sitting here next to me. Got a fun day planned.
That's great. I've got plenty to complain about, but the show's only 48 minutes long. All right, then let's start it off with story time.
Kristen and Chris present Story Time.
All right, story time. Kristen, you want me to kick it off? You want to go?
Yeah, you can kick it off today.
All right, yeah. That was a very Spice Girls, yeah. Only real Chris can carry. Oh, no, hold on. Wow. So is that technically AI making the joke? So AI is making only real Chris. I said, by the way, I said flesh suit Chris because that is how AI would refer to me. Those look like game changer prompts. Anyway, Ron's trying to distract me. He's taking away from the show. He's a man who subtracts. I've got a very serious story for you all. And I am serious about how serious it is, but this is a little bit of science coming at you. Should you let your pet sleep next to you? And does it even matter what the experts say? So this is a very funny kind of two-sided article from the Associated Press. Yeah, because they brought in a bunch of this woman, Melissa Milanick, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, a professor at Medical University of South Carolina specializing in sleep health. This is her exact quote. "You can't say hands down it's bad for every single person, but there is a lot out there saying it negatively impacts your sleep." And I, as an example, can say definitely. It definitely can. Listen, animals are going to wake you up. So if you have a dog, they're going to nuzzle up against you and that could wake you up. If you have a cat, they're crepuscular, and she talks a lot about cats, how their sleep cycles are just so different from people. And they get zoomies right before dawn, and they get hungry right at dawn, and they are going to wake you up, and they don't care. They can't relate to a solid 8 hours. They sleep different. They sleep like an hour at a time, and then they're up. They actually are weirded out by you sleeping for 8 hours, and in fact might wake you up because they think you're dead. They're like, wow, why is this big cat sleeping so much? Is he dead? Also, allergens, even if you don't have a cat allergy or a dog allergy, the allergens can still impact your breathing and your ability to fall asleep and prevent you from getting deep sleep. So these are all aspects. And then the second part of the article is basically a bunch of people being like, I don't care. I'm sleeping with my pet. So me. I'm not here to tell you. Yes, I'm not here to tell you here or there what you should be doing when it comes to sleeping with your pet. But you may be getting better Z's if you figure out a system where you could get some uninterrupted sleep. But hey, you're going to do what's right for you, and that's fine.
My story is so powerful that it crashed my computer. So I have a little bit different set here. So bear with me. Okay. So you know how we talk about food puzzles a lot on this show, Chris? I know featured it as a product of the week many times, and it just comes up a lot. And I subscribe to this newsletter called Today's Veterinary Nurse, just because I like to hear, I like to read about what veterinary nursing is, what's happening in nursing. And they had this really great article about how they're encouraging their clients to use food puzzles, both the vets and the nurses. And I just thought I would, share this with you because it really addresses so many potential challenges you might be having with your pet, everything from obesity to boredom to, providing enrichment. So along the lines of mental and emotional enrichment, food puzzles let pets express natural behaviors like hunting, foraging, and problem solving that they're not going to get to do with just a food bowl, right? In terms of reducing boredom-driven behavior, which could be destruction, or even, chewing or licking. These enrichment toys can help prevent anxiety, excessive barking, or chewing, and other unwanted habits. And there's tons of health benefits because puzzle feeders slow down your pet's eating. They support weight management and stimulates physical activity, which also encourages more natural foraging. So if we haven't already convinced you to try puzzle feeders and enrichment toys, then take it from the veterinary nurses. They want us all to do this for our pets.
They are good people to listen to. Trust, they are good people to listen to.
They are.
Beyond the Leash, exploring the untold stories of pet passion and professionalism.
And our next guest is Pamela Kennison and her adorable dog, Zuzu. So, hi guys.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So, this is another one of my friends, Chris.
You have so many friends.
I have lots of friends. No, Pamela and I have been working together for 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's been about 10 years.
Yeah, so she helped me make Tet Living what it is today. And she's just been, a fantastic partner in my business. So, but she has started a really cool dog review website, and it's called Dogs Review Stuff.
Yes.
Right? So, look at Zuzu.
Zuzu knows. Zuzu reviews stuff
She
too.
reviews stuff all the time.
Yeah.
She does.
So, tell us about Dogs Review Stuff and, why it's so important for pet parents to get real reviews, not like, I don't know. Not that they're bot reviews, but
They're out there.
Tell us about it, and then I have a question about different types of reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we should start with the background of Dogs Review Stuff and why I started it. In 2021, I was looking for a carrier because Zuzu was going to go on her very first plane ride to Maine. Yes, we were headed back up to see family. And so, I went to Petco or whatever, was looking around and then wanted to look for reviews on products. And all I found were products that were very obviously like paid reviews. Mm-hmm. Like, just go buy this. This is what I use. But there was no real information. Yeah. So when you're talking about taking your dog on a plane ride, you want to make sure they're comfortable. They're not going to be too hot. You want to make sure that the carrier actually fits underneath the seat, right? So you don't have to have this last minute panic and then the airline gives you their just crummy carrier just to get on the plane. And what I found was that a lot of these reviews were just very clearly paid, or they were very blurry pictures or videos, low quality. And so I just felt like pet parents, they need to know the ins and outs. I'm a very pro and con kind of person. Yep. So being able to see the pros and cons of a product and get that in-depth review that was honest, to me is just so important as a pet parent. And I think it's needed.
So what makes the site different? Is it verified reviews? What is that differentiator that, as a pet parent logging on, I know what I'm getting is earnest feedback?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And one of the things that we do is have all of our dogs review it. Typically, all of our dogs on our panel will review. We have about 7 dogs across 3 countries now. We have trainers that are some of our reviewers as well. And so we're super honest about if a product doesn't fit well with a dog. For instance, Ziwi sent us one of their deer shank bone for reviews, and Zuzu wouldn't touch it. But she's a super picky eater, so it wasn't really a big surprise.
Right.
And so we're just very honest about that hey, it worked for these other, I think we had 4 dogs on the panel that tried the Ziwi bone, and they loved it. We talked all about the ingredients and all the benefits to it. But because Zuzu is a very picky eater, it just wasn't her thing. So I think being very honest and forthright about like, okay, it might not be for your dog because of X, Y, Z. I think that helps instill some confidence in pet parents that they're not just getting another like kind of BS review, right?
Right. And to that point, I think it's easy to spot a BS review, but what are some maybe red flags that maybe a review is not as authentic as the reader may think it is?
Yeah, so I think if it's all positive, like there's some really great products out there, right? But no product is perfect, and no product is perfect for every dog. I think Zuzu's like she wants to say something. She's leaning into the microphone.
Speak up, sweetie.
So if there's absolutely no negatives about the product, I feel like that's a red flag.
Yep.
Yeah, I like my go-to thing on Amazon. I call it the 4-star like window of opportunity. Anything that's like a 4.8, I'm like fake.
Yeah.
Anything too low, I'm like it might be bad. But when it's like that 4.0, 4.1, I'm like, oh, this works for most people. It's probably Or when you see like 85,000 reviews, it's like okay, there's no way that many people like. How many people out there have actually left a review on Amazon? I've never done it. Where are these 85,000 coming from? So I think that's a really cool idea. It reminds me a lot of Consumer Reports, actually.
Yeah,
but the consumer's the dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they love it. I mean, all of our dogs love to try the products. We've got dogs like Zuzu size. She's about 13 and a half pounds, Yorkie mix. And then she has like her cousin Doug, who's 80 pounds.
Right, yeah.
Doug the dog. And he's a big boy. He's a big chewer. So we have a really good range of dogs to try things out.
Right. And tell us how it works. Since we're talking about the importance of authentic reviews, how does it work? How are you getting these products? Are brands paying you to do the reviews? Like, what does that look like?
Well, we're fairly new. And so, some brands have said, hey, we'll send you some product. And we always disclose that, of course. Our primary platform is TikTok. And we're also on Instagram. The website actually just launched last week. So we'll be getting written content.
Nice.
We're brand new.
Legit,
We're going. And so sometimes they'll reach out and they'll send us product. Sometimes we just review products that we have around the house because we know, other pet parents might want to know about it too. And that's how we do it.
So what do you see in terms of, as somebody who's using a lot of products, being sent some stuff, we have talked a lot about this podcast of like the humanification of pets, right? Like the products are becoming higher quality, they're becoming more humanized, like that blend between pet and partner is sort of being dissolved. Is that the way you see the industry going? Do you see a lot more quality out there, or are there still some pitfalls that consumers should look out for?
So I think yes and no, I guess is my take on that. I think during COVID, there were a lot of brands that launched because they saw holes in the market they thought they could fill.
Sure.
They may have launched a little bit sooner than they should have. They may not have the quality control that they should have. But now we're seeing those brands that are not designed to last, those are going away. And I think absolutely, yes, the humanification thing is a real thing. And we can see that even with like nutrition trends, anything that's very trending with humans, that's going to follow for pets as well. Yeah.
And also people are wanting things more personalized. Like I met a lady yesterday that owns a dog supplement company that's only for giant breed dogs. Only if your dog is 100 pounds or over. So people want like not only just great quality nutrition, but nutrition for my breed, nutrition for my
I think that's super interesting. I mean, dogs are not, just like people, they're not the same.
Yeah.
Right? They've got their own unique needs. I think that's why like you had like that panel of dogs is so interesting, because other influencers, and this is not a knock at influencers, but they have one or two dogs, and like oftentimes they're the same breed because that owner really likes that breed, so they'll have two corgis. And that's fine. Yeah, the product is great for a corgi. Is it going to be good for my Great Dane? There's a pretty big difference there.
Yeah, so we wanted pet parents to be able to relate to a pet on our panel.
Yeah.
My sister is on our panel too, and she's got a little Frenchie bulldog. She lives in Paris, so we have like
So she has a French bulldog in
she
France?
has a French
Oh,
bulldog.
oui.
I know, it's so cliche, isn't it? But
a
it's
French
true.
bulldog.
It's a French bulldog. Yeah, his name is Max. And so we just have a really wide variety. We've got some schnauzers on our panel that are super hyper, and then of course you can see Zuzu, my dog.
Yeah,
She's
like not hyper.
She's not a hyper dog.
Yeah.
Well, this is awesome, Pamela. Thank you for joining us today, and tell us where we can find Dogs Review Stuff online and on social.
We are Dogs Review Stuff, one word, on all of the platforms, TikTok, Instagram. We don't really do Facebook a whole lot, but you can find us also now on our new website, dogsreviewstuff.com.
Fantastic. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you, Zuzu.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.
She just woke up.
That's where I'm awake.
We're on.
I'm glad we got to have Pamela on the show. She was kind of surprised when I asked her to be a guest, but I love what she's doing with Dogs Review Stuff. I mean, it's a really cool platform where you can find really cool stuff for your dog that has been tested by like real people that don't have any real true incentive, like monetarily, to review it and give you an honest opinion.
And joining us now is Mike Bober, the president and CEO of the Pet Advocacy Network, a leading organization dedicated to promoting responsible pet ownership and advocating for policies that support the well-being of pets and the pet care community. Under Mike's leadership, PAN has undergone significant transformations, including a successful rebranding, not easy, from its former identity as the Pet Industry Joint Advisory Council,
oh my gosh.
PJAC. What a
So
mouthful.
much better.
Yes.
So much better.
With over a decade of experience in political outreach, Mike has been instrumental in engaging and educating elected officials on issues affecting companion animals and those who care for them. He is returning to the show for a second time.
That's
Mike,
right.
how are we doing today, man?
We're doing great. I need to pay you to follow me around and tell everybody that.
Yeah, well, they gave me one of those little like portable microphones so I could do just that. So my rates are very competitive.
Excellent.
So why don't we just start with talking a little bit about PAN? I'm sure most of our listeners prefer to ignore all the things that happen in Washington, but talk about a bit behind what PAN does and sort of the work that you're advocating for.
Yeah, absolutely. We are the Legislative and Regulatory Trade Association that represents the responsible pet care community. We like to say that we represent everybody who's involved in bringing animals into the world, bringing them into your home, and then helping you care for them for their entire natural lives. We work with legislators and staff at the federal level, the state level, sometimes the local level, and we work on some international issues as well.
Wow. What are some of the key advocacy campaigns that PAN's working on right now?
Oh, we've got a lot going on right now. Broad basket, we say that everything we do kind of boils down to access to responsibly raised companion animals. Mm-hmm. So that's anything that makes it easier, hopefully, for people to bring dogs, cats, birds, fish, reptiles, and small mammals into their lives.
Would that be like pet-friendly housing?
Pet-friendly housing is a big one. We're a big fan of the inclusive housing initiatives that have been going on. One of the things that we're working on in concert with the Human Animal Bond Research Institute is a program called the People and Animal Wellbeing Act, PAW. The PAW Act is an effort to make it possible for people to allocate money from their health savings accounts or flexible spending accounts to pay for veterinary visits or in some cases pet insurance.
That's fantastic.
Wow, yeah, that would be really helpful. That's like one of those things I didn't know I needed until you just explained it to me, and now I need it now.
And people leave a lot of money on the table in their HSAs.
And they could use it for vet care.
And
wow.
With 2/3 of American houses having pets, we want to make sure that they have the ability to take care of them.
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
smart.
So let's talk a little bit about transforming a brand. It is not easy, especially PJAC was around as PJAC for how many years?
50 years.
So
50?
Yeah, that is quite a bit of time. A lot of, as we say, equity in the brand.
Indeed.
But it was time to make that change. A, why, and B, how did you do it so well?
The why is the easy part, and that's that reaction that everybody has when you start rattling off pet, industry, joint, advise. People fall asleep halfway through the name.
You're right.
And honestly, when you get about 15 to 20 minutes to talk to a legislator, you really can't spend 5 of it telling them your name.
Good point.
So we wanted to change to reflect who we are and what we do. Pets, advocacy, and a network of activists.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was a 2-year process. Going into the 50th anniversary, we knew it was time. Had a really great communications director on our team at that point, Gwen Donahue, and she really made the whole process as smooth as possible. We worked with an outside branding firm. We worked with a new website designer, and at the end of the day, the PAN story kind of told itself.
Yeah. Before we started recording, you were telling me a little bit about your new network. Can you explain that?
Yeah, the newest project that we've got is called the Network of Advocates. We recognize that there's about 1.4 million people in the country who are either employed by or directly related to the pet care community. And while we do a really good job of telling the story of the community writ large, people love to hear about individual stories, their own experiences with pet care, the challenges they face. And for us, it seemed like it was time to start to tap into that broader community. So anybody who's interested can go to petadvocacy.org/network, and they can sign up to become part of the Network of Advocates. We'll be giving them advocacy training, access to tools, and we'll be keeping them informed about different pieces of legislation and activations across the country.
That's awesome, man. I really appreciate how PAN focuses on both the federal government with this big macro lens, but also gets down into local legislation and engaging the community. But what are some of the more local issues you face? These regulations that largely involve, banning like pet store sales, right? Is a big one that happens at the local level. What are some of the things that PAN's doing to help simultaneously protect animals, but also making it simple to acquire one if that's what you want?
That's a great point. One of the things that we try to do is to help educate people about some of the protections that are already in place, and in places where more protection is needed, we advocate for that as well. We're big fans of demonstrated data and sound science. We've, on several occasions, we've urged the Department of Agriculture to take a look at the Animal Welfare Act standards. But locally, what we try to do is really just work with communities and the people who are there to kind of help them understand how pet stores and the broader pet community fits into their overall structure. I think the big one for us that we're working on right now is trying to remove barriers for people to own pets in terms of insurance and also in terms of living in multi-housing communities.
Sure. Yeah.
Talk to us about PAN's involvement in Pet Week on Capitol Hill.
Yes. Pet Week on Capitol Hill has been an evolution, a growth of what started out as Pet Night on Capitol Hill. And that's an annual event that takes place in Washington. About 85 to 90% of congressional offices have an office pet. Either the member's pet themselves or a staffer brings in a pet, and we want to celebrate that. We hold a contest every year. The Animal Health Institute identifies the cutest pets on Capitol Hill. We give out our Pet's Best Friend Awards, which are legislators who've gone above and beyond. And we do a reception that legislators and staff come out for, and it's a huge hit. But Pet Week is an expansion of that. There's programming every day, usually available online virtually, and then we do a legislative fly-in where we bring people in, we train them, and we invite them to sit down with their legislators to talk about the issues of importance.
And when is that happening?
This year it's going to happen on Tuesday, September 16th. Okay. People who are interested can sign up at petadvocacy.org/events and get more information there, or you can check out petnight.com.
Great.
I've never had the chance to go, but maybe one day.
We'd love to have you there. I think it would be great to have you guys on site.
Yeah. If there's one thing I could do, it is yell at my local legislature. Believe me, and when they goof up, I'm hitting that website.
Sign me up.
Then we need you. We need you there.
Obviously, I know working for APA, that APA supports PAN, with resources, both financial and otherwise. But we are not the only ones, so
That's right.
I think it would be great for our listeners to understand all the different organizations that kind of have a hand in making it possible for you guys to do this work.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very fortunate to partner with the American Pet Products Association, the Pet Industry Distributors Association, and the World Pet Association. They're our primary supporters, but we are a 501c6 member organization, so we've got individual companies throughout the industry that join us and support our efforts as well. But APA, PIDA, and WPA really do kind of give us the lion's share, and we're so grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's great that, despite I always call it co-opetition,
That's a great way to put it.
I know it's
I love that.
competition.
Yeah.
Ideally, I want my association to do better, but it is what it is. But I think it's great that we're all able to agree on these things, these really important issues. And
That's right.
sure, like, we're going to be competitive within our own businesses, but there is a bigger picture here that we're all able to take a step back, look at, and have you guys to advocate for us.
Yeah, we had a great example of that yesterday. There was a roundtable that was put on, hosted by APA, had the other associations lending their hand to it as well, in addition to the Pet Food Institute and Indie Pet. We sat down with folks who were really concerned about where things are with tariffs right now. Mm-hmm. And the short answer is we don't know. There's a lot of moving parts to this, but the pet care community as a whole is going to be working on this to make sure that all of the folks that have been here at Global all around us have the best possible information and the ability to get involved.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
No,
it is always a pleasure to have you on. I think in the future we're going to have Mike Bober for a third time.
Excellent.
So we're looking forward to that. But thanks for all the work you do for both the industry and all the little critters sitting at home.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Thanks, and definitely want to have you guys at Pet Night.
Always a pleasure to have Mr. Bober on the program. The legislative work goes unnoticed, but it's such an important part. I mean, keeping pets, it requires the support of our governments and to give them better lives. Things have to change a little bit. It's always good to have these frontline guys watching out for our furry little friends and making sure life is as easy as it can be for pet owners.
Alrighty, our next guest is Carla Eng from Earthbath, a company renowned for its commitment to natural pet grooming products, and they are celebrating their 30th anniversary this year.
Me too.
Earthbath continues to support animal welfare by partnering with 30 nonprofit organizations through its rescue and service dog program. Welcome, Carla.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I know you weren't expecting the camera and the lights, but you're beautiful. Look, she's got like the most beautiful purple jacket on.
I dressed to impress. Thank you. Only at Global.
Only at Global.
Yeah. Only at Global.
So 30 years. That's an incredible milestone.
Yes, it is, and I have been a witness at Earthbath to the incredible stability and progress that we have made. I have been here for the 23 out of the 30 years that we have been in business.
Wow.
So I am definitely proud to say
That's
that.
commitment.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, and I mean, 30 years, that's already a remarkable achievement.
It is.
Helping 30 organizations is an insane initiative. Yes. Was the idea just like, 30-30, we're going to do it? Where did that come from, and how's it going so far?
It's great. We are, we're always about giving back.
Yeah.
The pet community has given to us, by supporting us through the years. So I think that it was just the right thing to do to be able to celebrate and also give back to those who give back to us, especially the pets, right?
Sure. So take us back 30 years. I know you weren't there in year one, but what did Earthbath look like 30 years ago?
So I can say when I was there, it was close to 30 years, but not quite. The owner, Paul, he started the company. He just saw that there was a need for sustainable products for pets.
Right.
And so he kind of took it and ran with it. He expanded the product line a little bit. Changed the labels, made it bright and colorful, which is what we're known for today still. When he first started, he was out there selling shampoo out of the trunk of his car. So when I was there, it was just a little bit past that.
It was out of the bed of out of the bed of a pickup truck.
Yes,
I think it's a little step
we were
up.
a little bit above that. So even though we were kind of 7 years in when I started, we were still really at a starting point.
Sure.
And then from there, we just really grew. So.
Yeah, so I'm relatively familiar with the brand. My understanding is you guys really put a strong emphasis on plant-based and natural ingredients.
Yes.
What are some of the main benefits for using those ingredients in the shampoos and other products for dog grooming?
Well, mainly that it doesn't hurt your skin and coat, your pet's skin and coat, right? So we want pet skin and coat is very sensitive. So we definitely make our products based on the pH. Make sure that it's soap free so it doesn't strip or dry out the skin. And also we're solution based. So then for whatever issue that you might have that deals with the skin and coat, we try to make solutions for them. So such as our oatmeal and aloe shampoo. It's our #1 seller. It's great for moisturizing the coat. It's great for helping with dander, and it smells really good, especially our vanilla and almond.
And that part's important.
Yes, absolutely.
I bet. I remember, and I saw Carla on a panel the other day at the Pet Summit.
Lucky.
And you were talking about people often don't remember the name of the scent, but they remember what color the label is.
Yes, exactly.
That's so true.
So which was really important. That's why I mentioned that. Because when he first took over the company, it only had black and white labels. So what he did was change it to like a red label, yellow label, and to this end, it's very important to him when we update things on the product and the labels. We just always make sure that the colors are on there because yes, the customers might not know the name of the product, but they do know the color. I use the yellow one. I use the purple one.
Yeah, and it's so true. I mean, everybody out there listening to this right now, just right now, think of a green smell. And I bet you almost everybody's smelling the same thing right now. Like, what think of a purple smell. Like, it is. But if I were to try and say, like, what do, like, lilac, lavender, and lemon, you'd be like, now my brain's confused.
Exactly. So here we are, and I am dressed for the occasion.
Nice, bright purple. Yes.
Exactly. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, you should be, because you've got to see Carla's gorgeous jacket.
Oh, thank you.
So also, sustainability is also very important at Earthbath. So talk to us about that.
So all our products are non-toxic. We make natural ingredients. It is biodegradable. So let's say you take your dog out to the river, which most of us do, for camping or whatnot, and you want to wash your dog down. All the ingredients in the product will degrade and it will not harm the environment. So that's very important to us.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, sustainability in the pet industry is really taking off now, but you guys have been doing it for 30 years. You were really ahead of the curve on that one.
Yes, we have, and we're very lucky. Absolutely. So we're very blessed, and my boss, the owner, really had a vision of along with selling great product, that we are also stewards of the environment and the earth.
Absolutely.
And for our pets, right? I mean, because they are our most precious part of the family.
That is so
for
true.
Sure.
And go ahead, Chris.
Okay, I was just going to ask, I think there's a lot of pet owners out there who don't necessarily really know how to groom their animal properly, or they just aren't good at getting into a good routine. So what advice do you have for the pet owners out there on how they could be taking better care of their dog through regular bath time and taking care of their coat and their skin?
Well, the great thing about our products is that it doesn't dry out the skin. So when we talk to veterinarians, they always recommend the minimum of bathing is probably once a week, just to really not strip any extra oils on the body to dry out the skin. The next thing I would say, if you have a long-haired dog, is leave it to the professionals and take them to the groomer. Because they know best, and making sure that we have a lot of customers who actually buy our product and send the product with the groomer, so they know that they're getting the best shampoo and they're being bathed. So.
Well, what's new for Earthbath this year?
I'm so glad that you asked. I've been waiting for that.
Objection, leading question.
So along with line with grooming products, we have our new pet wash, our paw wash, with the same great ingredients, coconut-based cleansers. It has shea butter, which is really moisturizing for the coat, as well as avocado and calendula and aloe. So it not only helps soothe and cleans the coat, it's just great benefit.
Yeah. And is that like a little brush at the end of the bottle there? Yeah, that's awesome.
So we have a silicone brush at the outside of the tip. So once you do a couple of sprays of foam, you can just kind of rub it onto the paw, and you just towel it off. Really simple. So, and the silicone tip can be taken off and washed, and then you just put it right back on.
Fantastic. So. If my grandparents could see the products available now for dogs.
Yeah, my grandpa was definitely behind the house, just hitting the dog with a hose. That was the extent of grooming.
Exactly. Now products are safe for human and pet use nowadays, because we do make products that are sensitive and gentle enough for both humans and pets.
Yeah, and I think that's great, because I noticed one thing with my parents' dog before they really found higher quality products is my hands would be so dry if I didn't use like latex gloves.
Yes.
After giving the dog a good scrubbing.
Yes.
And we have used Earthbath. They take care of the dog upstate now, so I don't know what they use now. But I had used Earthbath products, and my hands felt amazing. It was like I guess got a manicure. It was absolutely incredible.
Yes, thank you. And just on the side note, I do use the conditioner every day on my own hair.
On your
There
own
we go.
hair.
Okay. Your hair is looking amazing in this Florida
Thank you.
humidity.
So I'm
so
a testament to our
And
product
I am a
as
witness.
well. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And did you get that done at the professional groomer? Your hair?
No. But I should. I should.
No, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all that you and Earthbath have done to bring, to set the industry standard and to elevate the product quality. And we appreciate you. And congratulations on 30 years.
Yeah, congrats on
to
30.
all the pet parents that have supported us through the years. We wouldn't be here without them.
Well, let's thank them too.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you very much.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today,
Thank
Carla.
you. It's been a pleasure.
The product of the week.
It is time for the product of the week. And Kristen, you were teasing yours out a little bit during story time, so why don't we get on with it? Give the people what they've been waiting with bated breath for.
Okay, well, I talked about the importance of puzzle feeders, and I decided instead of telling you a cool puzzle feeder to go purchase, I instead have some DIY puzzle feeder ideas for you. So, and these are free. You can just use things around the house. The first one is to take a plastic water bottle, and you can cut holes in an empty one, add kibbles or treats in there, put the cap back on, and then watch your dog or cat just kind of roll it around to get the little kibble treats out. So that's an easy breezy one. This is a good one for cats, and I've actually done this before. Toilet paper roll treats. So what you do is you take an empty toilet paper roll, you fold one end closed, you fold half of it on each side closed. You put the treats and kibble inside, or you could put catnip in there too. And then you fold the top closed and let your cat safely unravel the cardboard tube for the treat. You can also use a muffin tin from the kitchen and put little food pieces. You can make it a little bit more challenging by putting food pieces and then maybe putting a ball or a crumpled piece of paper on top of it. So your pet has to kind of unravel the paper to get it out of these little nested boxes. And then finally, the snuffle mat. If you don't have a snuffle mat, you can use carpeting or a rug if the pile is deep enough as a snuffle mat. So those are all things that we probably all have in our own homes. So no need to go out and purchase one.
That is great advice. That is great advice. I've got a product that you can just go purchase. This is one you can just go buy. No need to DIY. But it's great. If you've got one of those cats, here's the sales pitch. Does your cat scratch up the arm of your sofa? Well, do I have a product for you? So it's from a company called Hilda and Phil. I think it's Hilda. Nonetheless, it is a very stylish end table that sort of connects onto the arm of your sofa. It's got a little end table, and then the entire padding of it is just like scratch pad. And it comes in different scratch pad colors, different wood colors, different sizes for the riser, different lengths for the table. Could really get it to fit any space here. And I just, cats are destructive. They will destroy your furniture if they do not have good places for them to scratch and mark. So you want to make sure that you have a few of these things. But a lot of the products out there are either really cheap, really ugly, and just don't look good in your home. So if you are worried about your aesthetic, this is a great one. It's going to cost you. It's $379, but consider it a piece of furniture because you are getting an end table out of it too. Somewhere to put your drink or your little notebook or your Kindle or your comic books, if you're me. So check it out. That's Hilda and Phil. Link will be in the notes, folks. Check the notes.
Q&As.
Here we go, folks. It is time for our favorite segment of the show. We are going to answer 2 questions from our talented audience. You guys are talented today. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, man, I've got so many questions. And I need Chris and Kristen to weigh in on these questions ASAP. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to head on over to petadlife.org/podcast. I really hope I'm doing these arm gestures properly. Otherwise, I'm going to look ridiculous in the videos. Head on over to petsadlife.org/podcast, fill out the form, and we'll get around to your question. And if you are feeling as brave as Kristen Levine, triaging internet issues and having to do the rest of the podcast episode from her phone, then listen. If Kristen could do this podcast from her phone, you could send us a voice memo. You could do it. You'll see a little segment there, a little linky poo, and you could upload your voice memo right from your device, and you could hear it played on this show. Whew, the spiel is done. We're ready to ask some questions. So, Kristen, here's what I got for you. This comes from Carlos in Austin, and Carlos asks, my dog barks nonstop when I leave the room. I think it's separation anxiety. What can I do to help?
Hey, Carlos. Great question. And you might be right. It might be separation anxiety. It also might be your dog's way of training you to return. It depends. I need more information on this, but we talked a lot about separation anxiety on the show, and last month with Dr. Lisa Radasta, because it is a really common problem. I think the statistic was almost 30% of dogs experience some level of separation anxiety. So typically what the recommendation is to start with by practicing some short absences. So, walk out of the room for just a few seconds and then walk back in before the barking starts, ideally. And then you gradually increase that time and distance over multiple sessions. You're basically rewarding the calm behavior before you return. And you also could do a second strategy where you're creating positive associations with your departure. So before you leave, you give your dog something they really love, like a Kong filled with peanut butter, or a licky mat, or a treat puzzle. And this can help your dog associate your absence with something that's going to be fun or tasty. And you also can help your dog build independence. Encourage your dog to settle on a mat or a bed when you are home, but they're just nearby you, but they don't have to be right up next to you or in your lap. And you slowly increase the distance as your pet becomes more comfortable with that distance being increased. Now, having said all that, those are kind of early stage things you would want to do if you start to notice the symptoms. But it sounds like if your dog is barking incessantly after you leave, your pup might be a little bit more advanced in the separation anxiety. So if that is the case, I'm going to recommend that you go see your veterinarian, because there are there could be medical things going on that you don't know about. And if it is indeed separation anxiety, there are some really great medications that work really well to help your dog relax in your absence. But it might be a medication and a training situation where you give the medication to calm your pet, and that allows them to focus better, so you can do some behavior modification to kind of like unravel that problem. So I hope that helps, Carlos. I know it's frustrating, and you want to help your pup, so give that advice a go.
That is some great advice there, Kristen. What do you got for me?
I have for you, this one comes to us from Laura in Portland. They
love us in Portland, Oregon.
Laura says, I recently found a missing pet flyer, and it made me wonder, what are the first steps I should take if my dog goes missing? Are there any proven search strategies I can start immediately?
Contrary to popular belief, the best strategy is not to run out into the pouring rain and scream Fido at the top of your lungs like your Marlon Brando from A Streetcar Named Desire. Stella! No, letter A. if you are looking at a missing pet flyer and then looking at your dog and going, man, what would I do if you went missing? Get your dog chipped. Do it now. That is like number one thing you could do. That's going to help. They make the GPS chips. They make the identification chips. Get yourself a nice fancy one if you're really worried about it. They make dog tags that can be GPS tracked. Get that. This is not a, like, I find it a little strange when people do this, like with their children. Maybe it's because I was like a 90s kid and I was just like given a bicycle and told to go into the neighborhood and be back by sunset. But like, this is a dog. It is okay to keep tabs on their location, especially if you're going to be letting them out into the backyard without a leash or a stake, or if you have an outdoor cat that sort of is just allowed to come and go as they please. It is completely ethical, and in fact, your responsibility to know where this animal gets into. So that would be number one. Now, let's say your animal does go missing and you don't have them microchipped. I have a couple of pieces of advice. The first is, like, if you have a scared animal or a nervous animal, check like your crawl space. There's a lot of missing pets that were just under the crawl space and were too nervous to get out. Number two, bring their bed outside, leave their food outside, give them, we've been talking a lot on the show about how dogs have like the 600 million scent receptors. It's incredible. They will smell it. You may think, wow, this seems really foolish. They are going to find their way back home using their sense of smell. And then obviously leverage your social media and your communities, post your flyers, make your posts on your Nextdoor and your Facebook, and see if anybody's seen the pet. Cast a nice wide net. A lost dog or a lost cat, truly lost, where they are lost and not just on an adventure, may wander pretty damn far away without you realizing it. So cast a nice wide net. But I will reiterate once again, the best way to find your pet is to have taken preventive measures and have that animal chipped, because then you'll just open up your app and be able to find where they're at. And you'll be, you'll rest easy at night, knowing that if they ever did go missing, you'd be able to find them.
Excellent advice, Chris.
Don't lose them pets. Anyway, that do be the end of our episode. Woohoo, or sad. That do be it. Sad times, because it is time for us to say goodbye. But don't worry, folks, we're going to be back here next Tuesday. If you're not catching us on video, check us on the socials. Check us on Dog TV Unleashed. Check us on YouTube. Our production team works hard on these beautiful templates and video editing so that you can see us in beautiful 1080p. So check it out. Remember to submit your questions, submit your voice memos, engage with the show. Share it with an animal lover. Share it with an animal hater. Turn them into an animal lover. And we're going to be back next Tuesday, as always. So we'll see you then.
Pets Add Life, your guide to the latest in pet trends, products, and the joy of the human-animal bond, with Kristen Levine and Chris Bonifati, powered by the American Pet Products Association and Dog TV.